So, hello guys, today I will explain what is JDK, JRE, JVM and JIT. So, why should have to know about this all and what are their works and what is their structure. So, I will explain you everything in today's video. So, first of all, coming to what is JDK. JDK means Java Development Kit. So why we use JDK and why should have to learn JDK? So what is the work of JDK? So JDK is a package which is used to develop the Java applications. Means it is a package you should have to develop any Java application. You need JDK. So it contains everything required to write one code and how to compile that code, and it is also help to run the Java programs. So if you are writing anything, a Java file or Java source code, so you mandatorily need a Java JDK. JDK is Java Development Kit. So JDK is also contain JRE, means this JDK also contain JRE, and it is also along with a JRE, it also contains the Java development tools. Means if you are writing in a file into a Java, or if you are developing into a project into a Java, you need Java development tools also, and it is also contains Java compiler, and it is also contain debugger. So if you are done any mistakes in your code, so how you get identify that mistake is done? By doing debugging. So it is also give you debugger, and it is also give you a compiler, and it is also give you Java development tools. So JDK is used to develop a Java application. It is also contain JRE plus Java development tools plus Java compiler, and it is also have debugger. So this is JDK. Now coming to the what is JRE. I told you what JDK is also contain JRE. So what is mean by JRE? JRE means Java Runtime Environment. What is JRE? Java Runtime Environment. So JRE is used to run our Java applications. It is used to run our Java applications. By using JDK, you are preparing one application. So if you are preparing one application, is it fine? So you should have to run that application also, na? So for that we need JRE. So JRE is used to run our Java application. If you only write any source code or any file or any project, it is not sufficient. We also need to run that program. So for that we use JRE. So if you sometimes what should, if any some other developer is developed the code, and we don't have any source code, and we need to no need to write anything, but if the developer will give that code to us, we can run that code. So if you wanted to run a Java program, so that time we need JRE. Means sometimes developer give me code to some other, means I am one developer, some other developer is there, some other developer is developing some code and give to me. That time I no need to worry about the what the code developer one is writing. So I just wanted to means run that code. So that time JRE will coming to the picture, and it is helpful. And it is also, I think I am a developer too, I also write some code and I also need to run that code. That time also JRE will use. If you only wanted to run in a Java program, you need a JRE. So it's what can I say, it does not contain the Java compiler. It no need to it's no need to having a Java compiler here. So JRE also contains some other internal things. What JRE will contains? JRE will contains JVM. To run any program, JRE also contain JVM plus some classes and some Java libraries. And so by these two, JRE will run our code. Okay, so JVM will also contain, JRE will also contain JVM plus some Java classes and some Java libraries. So by using this, so JRE will run our Java application. Okay, so coming to what is JVM. So what is mean by JVM? JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So Java Virtual Machine, when you are writing your code, the source code, your source code is done with the extension of .java. So after this source code compiled by Java C, and this code will convert and give into dot class file. If your code when convert into a dot class file, means the dot class file is also known as a bytecode. Means think like hello dot class, means it is also known as bytecode. This dot class file contains a bytecode. So your JVM will take that bytecode and it will be converted into a machine readable code. Okay, yesterday I also told you JVM will take the bytecode and it will give to an interpreter, and that will be convert this code into a machine readable code. JVM will also contains the class loaders and executive engine and interpreter and JIT. So JVM what will do means, JVM once you write code in if you are writing code, so you can execute that code into any operating system. Means JVM understands this bytecode and converts it bytecode into a machine code that you can operating any you can like perform this code into any operating system, because every operating system understand the different machine code. For a different operating system, JVM will have a different JVMs. Means for it is in a Windows, it is a Windows JVM. If it is a Linux, it will have Linux JVM. It is Mac JVM. So instead of writing in a separate Java program for each operating system, so Java convert this program into a bytecode, and that each operating system it itself having their own JVM. So each JVM converts the same bytecode into their machine code. So each JVM converts the same bytecode into their machine code. So JVM will also, means what is the use of JVM? Once you write the code and it can be executed into any operating system. So if any of the Java project also, it will be have the classes, and that classes needed to load into a machine. So that's why we use a class loaders and executive engine for executing in a program. Every system have an engine, so that is executive engine. Interpreter means you already know. Interpreter means it will convert the code into line by line, and it will be convert that code into a machine understandable code. So coming to the picture here, what is JIT? JIT is just in time compiler. So this is one of the Java's biggest important feature, because when JVM interprets the bytecode line by line, this JVM will interpret the bytecode one line by line. If any of the lines like frequently executed like many times, if any of the method or if any of the lines is executed like many times, then this JIT compiler will notice that all the code, and instead of every time doing and interpreting that repeatedly, it will store into JIT compiler. So it will be stored into a JIT compiler memory, and the next time the same method or the same line of code is needed, it will be directly giving to a JVM. So it will be directly execute that JVM will execute that lines of code directly, and it will compile it to a machine code. So that JIT means repeated lines of methods and repeated lines of code. If anything found, it will be directly giving to a JVM, and JVM will compile it and convert into a machine code. So by doing that, so time will like save, so your execution also will fast. So that is the use of JIT. So you people like think why we need to learn what is JDK, JRE and JVM. So if you develop any application in Java, so first of all, if you are writing any class, you are writing any project, whatever it may be, so you need all of this. Means this is the internal process when you write in a project or when you write in a class. This is everything is an internal process going through a machine. So JDK is used to develop your application. First this JDK is used to develop your application, and this JDK also includes that JRE, and it also includes JRE and a compiler, means Java compiler. If any mistakes is there, you wanted to check it, it is also given a debugger, and it is also give some additional tools to you. And if you developed something is okay, everything is fine, you wanted to run that application, so by using JRE, used to run a Java application. So JRE is used to run our Java application, and so this JRE is contains and JVM and some Java classes and libraries. So what is JVM will do? JVM will execute means our dot class files, means bytecode. These bytecodes taken by the JVM, and JVM converting this bytecode into a machine code. So it making Java platform as a platform independent also, because it will be perform this same source of code into a many operating system based on which operating system you are using. And coming to a JIT, when the code is multiple times repeated, or if any method is repeated, it will be JIT just in time will store into their memory, and next time that will be appears, it will directly give to a JVM. So JVM will convert that source code, means that byte, not source code, but that byte code into an machine understandable code. So interpreter means you already know, it will be convert our code into a line by line, and it will be convert that source code, that byte code into a machine understandable code. So all of this picture you should understand. So what is JDK, JRE and JVM, and why we know. So for developing one class or project, you need a JDK. So it is for a development purpose. It is also contains JRE and Java compiler, development tools and debuggers, and JRE is used to once you develop in one application, and you also need to run that application, so JRE is used. So JRE and also contains JVM plus classes and libraries. So this JVM will convert your bytecode into a machine understandable code. So for this you should have an engine. So every machine having some engine and interpreter, it will be convert your bytecode into a machine code and into a line by line. And this JIT will, what are the code will repeated, so that code will next time occurs, it will be directly giving to a JVM. So JVM will convert your bytecode into a machine understandable code, and it will finally it will give the output to us. So this is why we use JDK and JRE and JVM and JIT. So this is the use of JDK, JRE, JVM and JIT. So tomorrow's example I will explain you with a practical example how your dot class file be generated, how your code will be compiled, and how this dot class file be generated, and how your total code will be work. I will tell you with a practical example. See you guys.